Hello, hello, hello. I am in the garden finally. It is good weather today. The sky is blue. The sun has been shining. It's still shining, but more towards the ocean now. But the trees are still illuminated. The blue sky, the blue God. Awesome. And I wonder how the rat is doing. Yes, I have a rat, but that rat is a wild rat, not my pet rat. Okay, so the rat lives in that apple tree, but when it got cold, the rat came in the house and the rat went all the way under my head under the couch where I'm sleeping in my room. And the rat was making a bunch of noise, like scratching sounds, constantly scratching something up. And I finally said, "Baby, please let Mama sleep." And this was really amazing. I couldn't believe it. As soon as I said that, the rat stopped making noises and never made noises again. That's really hilarious. So, and then I heard the rat again, also in the other corner of the room, the next day, and then a couple of days later, I heard the rat still rumbling around the house. And then we went to the other house, we came back, and we let the cat in because the cat was really cold. The cat was sleeping on the futon bed in the living room. And rats have a good sense of smell. So the rat smelled the cat, and the rat somehow got through some kind of true hole in the wall back into the walls and was climbing around inside of the walls. So we have, as I call them, the indoor rock climbers. And they have all kinds of tunnels and stuff. It's interesting inside of those walls in this house and in the other house as well. So I hear the rats in there gnawing. And well, it's okay. It's not to me this is not a problem, obviously. So, but yeah, there are stray cats at the other house, and I guess some of them get rats. And we have the kitty. I call her Kitty. She sometimes sleeps on the futon bed, and I think she also catches rats. So, which is very good. That's very practical. Both the cat and the rat originally come from Africa. I don't know if people know this. Long time ago, in the Middle Ages, they have gotten on board of Viking warrior ships. Somehow they just somehow got on, and I guess the rats went on board because there was something to eat. They weren't very hygienic, so. And then the cats followed the rats on board of the Viking ship, and that's how they got into Northern Europe, and that's how they got also overseas into the Americas. That's what happened. Okay. And from there on, they proliferated themselves. That's what happened. Now that is not my pet rat, but I love the rat. I love the rat infinitely much, and the rat can feel that. She can tell. Probably a mama rat. So, and then I'm worried about whether she has a nest somewhere, and then Paul wants to trap her, and he wants to bring her over to the cemetery and release her there because there's a stream behind the cemetery where they can go down and get food and all of that. But then if she has a nest and she has newborn babies that need to drink her milk, then that would be absolutely heartbreaking for me if the mama is taken away from her babies, and that is absolutely unacceptable. I can't tolerate that. So I'm not reminding him of the rat anymore. I just leave the rat where she wants to be. If she wants to scratch under my head, under that couch, then that's what she has to do. Just go scratch on the floor. Scratch. I love all of these beings. I really do. They are beauties. So, we should not so much interfere, and people should not interfere with, particularly with these so-called issues of invasive species. So I had arguments with environmentalists on that, because I am 100% against invasive species removal. Okay. Whether that's plants that were planted that were originally from another place on Earth, or whether there's seaweeds that were not supposed to be put into a specific freshwater pond, or whether that is different fish, or whether that's bullfrogs who are from the southwest of the United States. They're from the Bible Belt, those bullfrogs. But they don't read the Bible. They couldn't care less about that. So they're brought over to different regions, including this region here. And then our environmental friend Eileen, we went hiking with her, with Kenny, out there in the wetland area, and we got to this stream, and we just followed the stream, beautiful stream. And then we got to this, there was some kind of like a little dam that was built into the stream, and in that dam pool, I saw bullfrog pollywogs. They're like, I'm not exaggerating, they are this big. The head, this big head of the pollywog, and then long tail, like 10-inch tail on top of it. So, and they look really cute. They look like cartoon figures. They have these stick eyes that come out, and they were sitting there in that little dam pool looking at me like this. And I said, look, Eileen, pollywogs from the bullfrog. I'm excited. And she said, well, that's not good. They're invasive species, from the Mississippi River. They're not supposed to be here. When they get big, when they hatch, when they become big, or they're already hatched, but when they go through the growing, so when the legs grow and the tail falls off and they become really humongous frogs, then they eat the native frogs, and they eat native mouses and all kinds of things. So, and the environmentalists are against that, and then they want to, I don't even want to use the word, then they want to do all kinds of things to get rid of them, to exterminate them, and then they use, I don't even want to use it, the word. They want to poison them, and that just makes me cry, It's so horrible. Environmentalists who want to poison things, okay, it's that, I mean, the kind of oxymorons I see in the world, healthy drug addict, poisoning environmentalists, that's another oxymoron. An environmentalist who wants to poison the wetlands. That's not an environmentalist. Sorry. So a true environmentalist leaves these things where they are. Okay, they're invasive species now. Okay, let's make peace with that. So I don't see the point why people should interfere with that. It has happened, different species have been carried around the globe by humans. That hasn't happened before humans, of course, but now it has happened, so let's be okay with it. Leave them where they are, and if they are killing and eating all the native frogs, then that's what happens. Okay, that's what it has to be. This is a churning. This is an evolution, of course. So people need to leave those these natural dynamics flowing the way they flow, and not interfere with that. Particularly not with poisons. Okay, and they do all kinds of things to wetlands. They use pesticides, and then it's pushed on them from Monsanto, from the Department of Agriculture. Barack Obama put the head of Monsanto, which pushes pesticides, as the head of the Department of Agriculture. I don't know who's in there right now. I think Donald Trump kicked all of these vested interest people out because they had no business being in those kind of governmental positions. Extreme corruption from the side of Barack Obama, from the side of Monsanto, kickback money, vested interest, they will pay the politicians, they pay them large sums of money to do these favors, these kickback favors for them, behind closed doors. I have seen it in local environmental groups, that the same dynamic is happening in the local groups as it happens in wider politics, as it happens in the main governmental seats of any country, and it also happens in world politics. It happens in the UN, United Nations. It goes all the way to the highest leverage political seats, when the wrong people get into those official seats, then they'll just do whatever pays them money, and it's very infinitely sad to see that. And then environmentalists who call themselves environmentalists, they will make excuses for these pesticides. I've seen it all in person. They have vomited that at me, into my face, and I vomited this right back at them, as I do. So that is what I do. Very well observed. Yes, if you vomit at me, my battlefield shield, which is made out of a mirror, will deflect and vomit that right back at you. So that's what happens. And I don't hold back. I do that with anyone. It doesn't matter how high ranking these people are. And I've said that to some people who have elbowed themselves into higher ranking official seats. Okay, and that's very sad. And there are very few people that are caring from those. Very, very few. It's very rare. So most people have their own vested interest in mind with all of this. And that's very sad, and that's why the environment is suffering like it is. Okay, that's why animals are suffering. That's why people are suffering. That's why there is enslavement of animals and humans. It's absolutely horrific what's going on worldwide. Okay, I see all of this as an activist. I come across those stories And I suffer from depression, and that doesn't make my depression better. Trust me on that one. Okay, that makes me even more depressed, and it makes me cry even more. It makes me suffer even more. But yeah, I do something about it. So I don't just lean back, and I certainly don't smoke one. So no, I'm leaning back right now as I'm sitting here in the garden, making the video. But in my daily life, I don't lean back in a psychological, mental way. Okay, absolutely not. I I roll up my sleeves, literally, and metaphorically, I really do something about it. I walk my talk, I do my activism, I write letters, I sign petitions every day. I speak to people, I write to people. Okay. I do what I can. And I praise those people who are doing a good job. Like the one lady who's running that one animal shelter, where she has the dogs all together. She only has them separated by genders. The females are all in one group, the males are in one group. Not all of them are neutered, of course, they can't all right away neuter them. So she puts them together so that they have a family to be with. Dogs are herd animals, group animals. They're highly social animals. Okay? They need to be together with other dogs or animals or humans. Okay? This is very, very important. So I praised her on that. She's amazing. And she doesn't even get governmental funding. She gets private donations. So that's really nice to be in the garden and enjoy the blue sky and the trees and the plants. And I'm going to do an Epsom salt foot bath. Yay! That's what I'm going to do. So the water is still cooling off. I can tell by the steam that comes out that it's still too hot. It takes a while, so it takes at least probably half an hour until that cools down, and then I will pour it into the green bucket where I have Epsom salt in it, and then I will put my feet in it and soak my feet and enjoy that like a hot spring. And then after that, I'm gonna get grounded on the grass. And the way I do it, maybe I should show that? Huh? Should I show that? I don't know. Let's see. Should I show how I get grounded? The grass is wet. Oh, I can't put the computer down on the wet grass. No way. It's not gonna work. But I can put the computer on the chair, and then I can turn this around, and maybe I can show you how I get grounded here. So yes, I can show you. Okay, there. This is how I get grounded. I kneel down on here like this, and you should do that too, right? And then you put your bare hands like this onto the grass, just like that. Okay? So when the grass is wet, obviously you can't lie down. What is this here? Okay. So you can only put your hands on the grass and your knees. And then you sit there for like 10 minutes or something. Just like that. And you let the grounding go through your body. Okay? Just like that. And this is also a yoga position. This is yoga. will do some more later. I just wanted to demonstrate how that works. Okay. And that feels really good. It feels really refreshing. It's really refreshing to do that. Yeah, it feels really good to get grounded. So I'll do some more after the foot bath. And then I will be nice and warm and it will feel really good. I will also put my bare feet onto the grass as well, which I haven't done lately because it has been too cold for that. But today it will be good, particularly after my feet are nice and hot from the foot bath. So it will be really perfect. So I'm still observing the steam. The steam is still coming out, so I can tell it's still too hot for my feet. It takes a while until it cools down enough to make it the temperature really nice and comfortable to, I don't know, to about 103 or something Fahrenheit. That's perfect for a foot bath. So when it comes to jacuzzis, I like 100 degrees Fahrenheit. That's my favorite temperature because with 100 degrees Fahrenheit I can soak longer, so I can probably stay in there for about half an hour at the time, and then I get a little overheated. I have to sit on the side of the pool and cool off and then go back in. So we have been doing that a lot. So one time we went with the Papa dog on a big hot spring vacation, and Kenny never got to hot springs because we had the Prius and we were working on the houses, and we never got to go to hot springs with Kenny. That's sad, but at least he got to see the lagoons and the ocean, so he liked that, the lagoon area, so he really enjoyed that, and the beach. So, but Papa got to see hot springs, so we went to Bog Hot Springs out there in Nevada, and it is absolutely gorgeous. The problem is there are people that are apparently dumping their sewage into that hot river. How infinitely sad. How infinitely sad. I saw that, and that's just so infinitely sad that people will pollute these natural treasures like that. Those are our natural presents for Mother Earth, and then people go there and they trash and they dump and they pollute. How infinitely sad. There were a bunch of deer hunters out there shooting, and then they leave these bullet plastic shells on the ground, and it's just so sad for me to see that. Disturbing the peace of the wild animals. If there were no people, or let's say if there were just respectful people there, it would be a paradise. Bog Hot Springs. We got our own place there with our van, with the Papa dog, and we stayed there for like 3 days. And I went soaking in that hot river, and the water was like, I don't know, the water seemed like 105 or even more. It seemed very, very hot. I couldn't stay in for very long, so I had to constantly get out and cool off and then go back in. But it was still nice. It was still really, really wonderful. There was mud on the ground, and if people wouldn't pollute that place, then it would be nice. And after that vacation, we all got mites, because I guess people have polluted that entire area with all kinds of stuff that, like when they walk over, they trample everything down and they leave mites and stuff like that. they leave all kinds of things, ringworm and all kinds of things that are contagious. Very sad. Ringworm comes directly from I don't know, sewage or animal dung, dust and stuff like that. Trampling down and pollution and all of that. So that's really terrible. We all got mites. And Paul didn't listen to me on what to do. What I did was the papa is I put diatomaceous earth powder, massage that into his coat. I did that frequently and he got rid of all the mites. I also dusted that lightly onto the mattress. There is my kid baby. There's my kitty baby. Hello, my love. Hello, my kitten. My kitten. Yes, my beautiful kitten. You beautiful kitten with blue eyes. Yes, a beautiful kitten. Such a beautiful kitten. Yes, she has a big winter coat. So, and then what I did is I panicked too. I went to the doctor, but by the time I got to the doctor, I was already halfway in the healing process, and the doctor said, well, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. That seems to be working. So after that, I never went to the doctor again. I knew I was doing everything that I needed to do. I have already my solutions, my holistic solutions. And so, yeah, it was pretty bad, that mite infection after that vacation because of the pollution everywhere. Also at Virgin Valley Hot Springs, the water seemed extremely polluted there. Everything is just yucky and dirty from just way too many people going in there. Homeless people going there, they take baths in there, and it's just not cool, okay? And the water isn't flowing through fast enough to clean itself. And particularly that one day there were a whole bunch of people in there and they didn't seem very hygienic. So after that entire hot spring vacation, it was still worth it because I like hot springs. But I mean, it's tough to get mite infections, and then I was breaking out on my entire body and I panicked. But I made myself a skin cream, like a whole, like one of those soup cups full. I still had a hand cream that I had made with soy wax. I put that in the entire thing, and I put carrier oil in it, and I put a whole load of diatomaceous earth in it. I mixed all of that together into a very lightweight paste, more like body lotion consistency paste. And then I just applied that really thick on my entire body, face to hair, everything. Every day I did that, like twice a day. And I used that entire thing up. I don't know how long I was doing this, maybe for 2 weeks only, and the entire mite infection healed up completely and never came back. So holistic healing is the path, so it is good for you, it's good for others, it serves the greater good, and it feels good on top of it. So it meets all 4 criteria of Tony Robbins, for his class 1 experience. Something that feels good, something that is good for you, something that is good for others, and something that serves the greater good, that's good for the environment, good for everyone else. Every other being benefits from that by you using a natural product. So by not contributing poisons to the watersheds or that go into the ocean or into septic tanks. Septic tanks are full of life, okay? And we don't want to poison that life. That life is there to recycle the gray water, or I guess septic tanks also take in black water, which is the sewage water. So They recycle that. The bugs that are in there, the earthworms, recycle that into fertile earth soil. Okay? We need these beings. We can't be poisoning them. This is very important information that everyone needs to understand. So we have to question Monsanto. We have to question the corporate agenda with their commercials and their corporate propaganda, and with their smear campaigns against whoever stands in their way of profit maximization. They have all kinds of hate campaigns against environmentalists for the only sole purpose of turning the public against the message of the environmentalists, because they want the public to cater to them, the corporate propaganda, the corporatists, the corporate machinery, the corporate conglomerate. Okay, so yes, the kitty. Oh, yes, so cute. So people need to understand this. If you look into it carefully and you think outside of talk radio box, then you can, if you follow the money trail, then you can see who is the one who is profiting and who is the one who is trying to make the world a better place, obviously. So Elon Musk doesn't even live in this way where, like other people, the way other people, like Jeff Bezos, is constantly at the equator with his yacht, with his girlfriend, making love, going into jacuzzis, sunbathing, surrounded by bodyguards. Elon Musk is working like almost 24 hours a day, working to heal the planet, to save the planet, and to bring the human species into the infinite cosmos, to make the human species multi-planetary, to rescue us, the Ark of Noah. Okay? He is the modern day Noah. People don't seem to understand this. They sling shit at him because they believe talk radio and the corporate propaganda. It's sad for me to see that. So I have to come in and I have to say, hey, wait a minute, look at the facts here, okay? Look at what's really going on. So I guess I'm gonna take my foot baths now. And we're going back to the other house tomorrow. So we're stayed one more day. I wanted to go today, but Paul didn't want to go today. But because he had wanted to do something. Tomorrow is Monday. Today the stores are closed. So we're gonna go back tomorrow. I'm gonna go to the horse. I'm gonna cut it with the horse. Maybe I will film this, and then we go back to the other house, to the Oregon house, and I will do my spa treatments there. Okay, you guys take care. Peace and love.